Most careers, I think ultimately, they're not going to disappear. They're just going to evolve, right? So people using AI tools in college, I just like to stress the point that you still need to be a subject matter expert in order to really leverage and take advantage of it. And the people who really understand the topic and then use AI as a tool to augment their strength are going to win against the people who are just using AI to get the answer.
Welcome to the Imagine AI Live podcast. I'm your host, Chris Madden, and today we have with us Austin Reed. Austin, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, man, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, so happy to have you here. Please let our audience know about what you're working on.
I'm the CEO of Horizon Dev. We build enterprise-level automations for small to medium-sized businesses. A lot of that includes AI. We'll basically optimize processes, operations, fulfillment, build custom web apps, and then use AI predictive models for filling in some of those gaps.
Can you tell me like a use case, a recent client of yours, a problem they had, and how you helped them?
One of our bigger clients, VREF, they are like Kelly Blue Books for aircraft. So they do evaluations on how much aircraft cost for banks, when people are trying to finance, for insurance companies, when, they want to cover a plane, things like that. They all use this platform, and they are predicting the price of aircraft over the next 5 and 10 years. And you can imagine the type of impact that could have on the industry. On top of that, we're building scrapers. We're grabbing all the planes for sale across basically the whole planet for them, grabbing all that data. We're taking FAA records, which are basically scanned pages like PDFs, but just the image. And we're using AI models to extract those texts and import those into the database, and then give better data to the banks and the brokers and the insurance agencies and the people looking to buy and sell aircraft.
So you're building the AI models for the clients to use?
Some of them, yes. Some of them will take some pre-built models like Profit, Facebook Profit, for example. We'll throw that in there and we'll feed it and train it some data and then use that.
Let's get into like the AI tools and software that you use the most. What are they?
Everybody's using ChatGPT. We're using a lot of Claude for more copywriting type of stuff. Find that it writes a lot better than GPT. We have a Ollama server set up here with web UI in the office where we have Mixtral and we have Llama 3 connected to it and a bunch of other AIs that we use for ourselves internally. We find that works a lot better for some things. We're not doing a lot of image regeneration AI or anything like that, so we don't touch too much of that stuff. But it really depends on the client, though. So like I mentioned earlier, we're using Facebook Profit to predict the price of things and fluctuations in markets and things like that.
What is Facebook Profit?
Facebook Profit is a LLM model that is made for pricing, made for market prediction and stocks. So it's more centered around analytical data and numbers. So you can feed it historical values of stocks and or like valuations of airplanes, valuations of cars, or just whatever, right? XYZ thing. And it will predict over time what that value may or may not be based on different factors. So like we'll try to grab weather data, believe it or not, helps. We'll grab political data, we'll grab stock market data, GDP, things like that. And then also feed it what it is we're trying to predict and have it then connect those dots and figure out what's related, what's not. You know how it works. It decides what's good, but in the end, it comes out with some pretty surprising results.
You're using all these AI software. What does your team look like? How many people are you? Do you have a co-founder?
Yeah, right now we're 15. We have a co-founder. He's our CTO, Mateos. He has a master's in cybersecurity. I'm more the face of the company. I do a lot of client relations, sales. I do code as well, but not as much as I used to. When we started, I coded a lot. Now I code a lot less. We have VP of operations, and then we have project manager, a bunch of developers, a couple designers. I have my own assistant. Yeah, that's what the team looks like.
That's incredible. When did you get started?
A little bit over 4 years ago.
What are the challenges of running a remote team?
The first thing is finding high quality talent. A lot of people, when they think of software engineers, they think of India. I don't. I've worked with Indians before. Nothing wrong with them. I lived in India. It was cool. But that being said, I find that there's a lot of miscommunication. especially culture-wise. Culturally, we're just very different type of people, right? So after having some experiences where didn't understand requirements or misunderstood or swapped out some people or whatever, we decided that everybody that we hire on the team, we at least need to speak their language fluently, right? So right now we have a lot of people in Angola, Africa. And the reason why is because they speak Portuguese. I speak Portuguese. Our CTO is Brazilian. He's fluent in Portuguese. So we're able to communicate with them in their native language, and there's no loss in translation. So that's a really, really important thing to us.
It sounds like you've got a lot of sales experience. I'm wondering what works for you there. Are you doing most of these sales via LinkedIn and X as far as getting potential clients, or are they coming to you? How does that work?
A lot of it, word of mouth, referrals, scalping job ads. That's pretty good. And then we're starting to get a pretty heavy inbound now. I've been working on inbound acquisition channels, primarily YouTube and LinkedIn for the last like 9-10 months. And we're starting to see some pretty steady lead flow coming in from there as well. But most of the bigger paying clients that we've gotten, at least up till now, are word of mouth for sure. Or just being members of communities. Like I'm a member of like some WhatsApp groups that do a lot of lead gen and things like that.
AI evolves so quickly and the space is evolving so quickly. I mean, what have you seen the trends in the last 3 to 6 months? Where do you see things moving?
Trends in the last 3 to 6 months is a lot of people want to become an AI expert, but most of them don't know what they're doing. So I've noticed that people don't understand prompt engineering. They don't understand chaining prompts together. They don't understand what models to use for what. Most people default. They start with Gemini. They always use Gemini. They start with ChatGPT. They always use ChatGPT. It's like, okay, that's great, but like ChatGPT is good at certain things. And there's different models of ChatGPT too, which are better at certain things, right? So understanding that is important. That's kind of the trend I'm seeing is everybody's super hyped about it. I think that we're moving away from using search engines like Google. A lot of people are just using ChatGPT as a search engine now, which is good and bad. I mean, it's good because it'll give you kind of what you want, what you need, but at the same time, there is misinformation kind of leaked in there if you really think about it, because, you know, it's only learning from what's on the internet. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet, right? So I think we're going to see a dilution of information too, because people are using AI to write blogs. Those AI generated blogs came from blogs that, you know, in the past were already written a certain way. So if the information was 30% diluted and the AI just keeps writing these diluted blogs, then eventually the information system will be more diluted. And so it'll be really hard to kind of discern what's true and what's not in that aspect. In a business aspect, though, I think it's going to be very awesome. I think a lot of people's jobs are going to change quite dramatically. I think people's day-to-day lives are going to change a lot. It really just kind of depends on what you do. Some people will be upset about that, just as they were upset when the tractor was made, right? But that being said, I mean, it's a different revolution. It's like the Industrial Revolution, but now it's an AI revolution, right?
Do you have any predictions or insights of what those jobs could be? I mean, these people that will be displaced from their work, what new jobs will open up?
Well, definitely a lot of AI prompt engineers, because first of all, take programming, for example. You could be like, you don't know anything about programming. You jump on ChatGPT, it'll walk you through some stuff, but you will never be able to build a complicated app. You won't be able to, just because you don't know the right questions to ask. You don't know the right prompts to do. So you're still going to need to be a subject matter expert to a degree, right? Whereas once you become that subject matter expert, the AI will augment your time because now you know what questions to ask in order to get the right response from the AI. So we're going to see people needing to be subject matter experts at XYZ thing to a point, but then using AI to augment that. So I think we're going to notice that a lot of people's jobs, it's going to be a requirement to know some degree of prompting, right? Because if you're not good at asking questions, it's just not going to give you a good result, you know? So I think that's going to be a definitely big change. There's going to be a lot more engineers in terms of people training their own models and doing things like that. A lot of people are using no-code tools. I mean, I do too. Stuff like N8N AI agents and things like that to train their own models. That's not really training your own models, though. I mean, even if you give an AI a vector database, still not really training the AI. That's not how you train an AI. You know what I mean? But it's close, and it's like an interesting way of doing it. So you're still going to need those engineers that know the back end of things. And that job, I mean, that industry is massively growing.
For people that are looking for a job in today's job market and looking for work, what advice do you have for them?
Stop doing AI generated resumes. We get them all the time. They suck. It's easy to tell. The difference between someone saying, I have 10 years of experience doing blah, 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 and somebody saying, hey, you know, I noticed that you need someone who does XYZ. You know, I did a project like that a couple of weeks ago where we blah, blah, blah. It's huge, right? Obviously, we're going to hire the second person, you know? So having, you know, a cover letter, a resume, or something that is relevantly attacking the need of the person who's hiring, saying, hey, you know, I noticed you need this for this application or this for that, you know, like I automatically, you know, that I heard you. That's huge. You know, I'm not just saying, hey, I have 10 years of experience in XYZ, blah, blah, blah. That's your AI app. So having that really helps.
Have there been other ways like people have gotten your attention to try to work for you, or I mean, advice, maybe kind of guerrilla marketing in a way to get people's attention?
Yeah, a lot of people have asked to work for free. Generally, when I get that offer, I'm like, because the amount of time it would take me or like our project manager, VP of Ops, you know, to manage somebody who may not know what they're doing, or maybe they do, you know, it's a lot. You know, it's like it's not free because we still have to spend our time helping that person. Instead, flip that, just start doing work and send it to them, right? Like I have a YouTube channel, you know, we're posting videos all the time. If somebody was to go and make 10 thumbnails for my YouTube and just send it to me, that'd be great. Like the other day, I got an email, hey, you know, we'll do, I think it was like 15 thumbnails for free for you. I was like, whatever, do them, send them to me, and then let's talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. You know, we can kind of turn to the content side of things now, but that's definitely, you know, with clips and making clips of podcasts, make a clip. It's not that hard, and show us that you can tell what a good clip is and present it in a way that's it's catchy. Doing the spec work, that's a great way to get people's attention. So what's your media strategy right now?
I just got a coaching call with Roberto Blake the other day. Amazing guy. He's trained a lot of creators to pass 1 million subs. Like he really knows his stuff. Strategy is to post 2 long form videos a week about topics that are a little difficult, right? Giving real help. I actually build the thing on camera and then I give it to you for free. You know what I mean? So that's pretty huge. Doing that, doing a short a day, doing a big long form video once a month where I spend like 50, 60 hours on it, you know, a lot of time on those videos. And the idea is an ascension ladder. So we have 3 main service offerings, right? So we have no code developers for smaller agencies that, you know, they don't need a full app, right? And so these no code developers will help them automate said things. That's our smallest offer. And between that, we have consulting. A lot of people, they don't know what they could automate. That's a huge problem because everybody has an automation problem, almost everybody at least, but they just don't know what it is, or they don't know it's possible, or they think that it's not going to be good enough quality, right? So they have these kind of limiting beliefs behind them. And so on the consulting role, we'll jump in, we'll audit their company and their processes, and we'll be like, hey, this is how you could automate this process to increase efficiency by 30% or increase your ROI by XYZ, you know, and then we show them, they can take the plan, integrate it, or we could do it. And then our final service offering is these more complex web apps where we actually build full blown applications in Django and React, implement, you know, predictive AI models, or just training your own AI models on the back end of that, and connecting all of everything that they do seamlessly into one place, right? So the idea is to build an ascension ladder where my content teaches the no code people, but also connects with the C-level people. So if the C-level happens to stumble upon my video and they need more advanced stuff, they're like, hey, this guy, he's a subject matter expert, let's hire him. But the smaller people, like, you know, they'll do it themselves, and then maybe they get to a point where they need help. That's where they come in on the smaller offering. And then we'll send them up to the bigger offerings. We'll help them grow as a company until they get to the point where they actually do need the big thing. Then on the flip side of that, we're also doing this in order to get more talent, right? So by making a lot of videos where we teach people how to do certain things with code, certain things with no code, XYZ, automate these stuff, we're attracting a lot of really high quality talent who's hungry to learn more. And if they get to the standard of me doing these videos, or maybe even a little bit higher, then, they become interesting people for us to maybe want to hire and be a part of the team.
That's really cool. And so in that content creation process, I mean, there's a lot of humans involved. Have you been able to automate parts of that process?
We tried automating the shorts, and to one extent we did, but the quality difference and the watch time difference and the result difference between a video editor doing the short and the AI doing the short is insane, right? So it's well worth the ROI to just have the video editor do it, right? In terms of blogs, 90% of the blogs are AI generated based off of the content that we already created, right? So I actually have this on my YouTube. It's a tutorial. I just gave people what I do for myself, but I have an automation where my assistant can go take the video transcripts, take any code snippets or whatever that I did in the video, fills out this form real quick, hits enter, and it auto generates a draft on WordPress, right? And then she just goes in and she just tweaks it a little bit, does a little bit of SEO on it, just a little bit of fine tuning. But that brought, her time down from like maybe 45 minutes to an hour down to like, like 10 minutes or something like that. So it really, really helps out a lot.
It sounds like you've got a great couple machines going for you got your content machine and then you got your business. And I'm wondering, what's the growth strategy here? What are your goals for the next 6 months, year? What are you trying to do?
Next 6 months to a year, my goals are simple. Like by the end of this year, I want to have posted 130 long form videos and a bunch of shorts on top of that. My goals are the process and the system. They're not the results. Okay. So I find that putting your goals to a result is good, but instead reverse engineering the process and making the goal the process tends to get better results, at least for me. So my goals in the next 6 months to 1 year is really just to post a bunch of videos. Like if we get clients, great. We are getting clients, which is awesome. If we don't, we'd be fine too, because, we have a lot of MRR clients that we're married to that need us for the next 4 or 5 years. We've done a really good job for them and we're the life support on their systems. And, they're constantly growing and evolving just as we are. And we have a lot of cash saved up too. So it's like, if we don't get clients, like it's fine. I'm not looking 6 months in the future. I'm looking like 2 years in the future. So my goal in 2 years is to have these acquisition channels built out, have the community built out. We're already building the community. It's all right. We've got close to 200 members in it now.
What do you use to manage that community?
Yeah, so we started the community on WhatsApp, but it got so big and like so many people, message chaotic. That's the good word. That we're transitioning it to school. So I actually just opened a school account yesterday, and we've already got 20 people in the school now.
Nice. I'll join you there. I've got a school, a community too. I like that platform
Right on,
a lot.
dude.
The community, I feel like that's a trend, something that I've been kind of picking up on, is that community is so important going into this AI age and future, and having those connections and people that are kind of encouraged by you and looking for you for guidance or for insights and to learn from, and not necessarily you, but the other members in the community themselves. I think it's super important, and just like building a social media presence and whatnot too, but having a community of people that you're trying to help, it's a good hedge against, the future.
Dude, it's massive. And then I noticed that, at least in my WhatsApp group, it's starting to get to the point where people are helping each other now. So like I'll wake up in the morning with like 40 or 50 WhatsApp messages, and like people are helping each other out, with different innate encoding problems, AI prompting stuff. And I don't have to jump in as much. And it also gives me good insight on like where people's heads are at in terms of what technologies they're using and playing with and what they're trying to do with those technologies, which helps me as a creator make better videos, right? So it's really awesome.
Definitely, I think that strategy of just providing it all for free is kind of necessary. There's just so much content, so many people that are turning on their cameras and and realizing that we live in this kind of very democratic, very flat world because of the internet and video streaming and stuff. You have to put your heart and what you know out there, and you'll find the people that resonate with it. What's the name of your school community?
Automation Masters.
Nice name. So that's all very cool. I love that. Yeah, the 2-year strategy and just keep building. It's awesome that you've got a successful business and you're in a very interesting field that everybody realizing that with these AI tools, you can automate a lot and make your processes more efficient and allowing you to do more either individually or as for your business. It's been a pleasure having you on. I'm wondering, is there anything that we didn't cover that you'd like to talk about?
No, man. I mean, it's been amazing. If anybody ever needs help with automation, like join the community. I'd be happy to help you in any way possible. Even if that is just giving some free advice, I'm always here.
Well, thanks so much, Austin. And I'm going to plug right now that we've got our Imagine AI Live conference at the end of May 28th to the 30th in Las Vegas. It's our second one, and we're aiming for about 1,000 people to be there this year. The first year, last year, was about 600, big success then, and we're hoping for bigger and better this time. So I hope you can make it, Austin. That'd be sweet to have you there. And everyone listening too, go check out our website, imagineai.live.
Right on, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
And